Okay, and we're live. You're watching the Interchain Jam, a series on Interchain FM, the Cosmos radio station. If you're seeking alpha in the cosmos, look no further. I'm your host, Chango Unchained. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you that Interchain FM is a public good and is a completely self-funded program. And if you'd like to support us, we would love it if you would delegate to us on Cosmos, Osmosis, and Canto. And in the future, we're going to operate a Celestia node as well. Also, PSA, if you're currently delegated to us on UMI and Comdex, we are going to sunset those nodes by November 1st. So do please redelegate to another validator so that you don't incur any losses. And if you are, were staking with us there, we really thank you and appreciate your support. As for this show, we are talking about IBC's Manifest Destiny moving to Binance Smart Chain. And if you weren't here in 2019, you probably aren't aware that Binance launched its first chain. It was one of the earliest Cosmos SDK chains, and that was the BNB chain, which has since become the beacon chain for Binance, which helps to secure their EVM subnet called Binance Smart Chain. And so this team here, the Toki team, has built the IBC expansion pack to Binance Smart Chain through this through their endeavor. So at this point, based on the data from the IBC data dashboard, now that it's 2023, more than 100 app chains have connected through IBC, and we're growing that even more to parts of the EVM ecosystem that don't have finality having chains like we do in the Tendermint ecosystem. Over $29 billion worth of value has so far been transmitted since 2022. And that's really exciting. And we're about to unlock the additional $2.6 billion that's currently held in TVL on Binance Smart Chain. And that's all due to the blood, sweat, and tears of the Toki team. So today, I'd like to welcome our guests from Japan and Dubai. That's Daiki Ishikawa, the founder of Toki, and Susumi Toriumi, the VP of Product. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you for having me, Jacob. It's great to be here.
Yes. Please give your backgrounds and intro yourselves, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. Hello, I am Daich, founder of Toki. And Toki is building IBC bridge, as Jenko said, for all blockchains, including Ethereum and Binance BNB Smart Chains and Layer 2 and so on. And also we partnered with Japanese major financial institutions such as MUFG, who is the giant banks in Japan, to bring RWA, including stablecoin, onto IBC. So this is what we are aiming for. Yeah, and I am very happy to be here and talk about Toki a little bit more. Thank you.
So, hi, my name is Susumu. I'm in charge of product at Toki. Daiki and I also have a seat at the Data Chain, which is a Japanese startup working with Japanese financial institutions, as Daiki mentioned. So I just want to say that it's a great honor to be here, and it's a great opportunity to be visible in our community of ourselves. So thanks for having me.
Yes, excellent stuff. And for users to understand at a high level, can one of you go over the architecture of this? When I read through it, it sounds very similar to the secret network. So if you could explain it and disambiguate from secret a little, that'd be great.
Okay. So could you interrupt me?
Yeah.
I couldn't hear the clear sound.
Okay. So basically, we provide the interoperability infrastructure for blockchains. And we use the off-chain entity called LCP, which is light client proxy. And we use the InterSGX, same as the secret network, to make our interoperability protocol transparent and trustworthy, even if it's not on chain. So that's the secret of our interoperability solution. The benefit of using the LCP is that it's highly efficient and without losing the trust assumption, the characteristic of trust assumption of IBC. So it's trust minimized and highly efficient, even in Ethereum. Like it's really gas expensive in the environment. But yeah, that's our key in our solution. But let me add one thing, and that we don't rule out the application of ZK. So we are witnessing the fast development of ZK, and we don't, as I said, we don't rule out using the ZK in our solution. If it's applicable, then we apply in our solution as well. But at the first, we use the SGX and LCP to mitigate the burden of gas.
So there is no on-chain component for your trusted execution environment, right? All it does is it funnels operations through a network of these black boxes, basically, and then channel it to the destination chain?
Not exactly. So we will have the on-chain stack of IBC on both sides, meaning, so if we connect the BSC with the Ethereum, then we have an IBC stack on both sides to verify the validity of the InterSGX proof. And the InterSGX validity is proven by the remote attestation, which is run by Intel. So we add some trust assumption here that we can trust Intel other than the on-chain components. But that's all. So it's purely IBC compatible. So every IBC app like ICS-20 or other ICS-30 can be run on our system as well.
Yeah. Our architecture is very similar to other GK IBC bridge. But the difference is they're using ZK and we are using T or LCP. And instead of using GK, we are using TE, but other component is on-chain and completely compliant with ICS or IBC. So this is our approach we are taking right now.
Help me understand the problem. So the well-known hurdle from of importing IBC to other EVM ecosystems is because it's highly gas inefficient to verify all these Tendermint-like signatures on the Ethereum chain, block after block. So how does your architecture solve that and make it gas efficient, or rather, not gas prohibitive to do that?
Yeah, yeah. So as you said, the verification process, light client verification process on the Ethereum is too expensive. So instead of doing that on Ethereum, the light client verification is run within the LCP. So very heavy verification process is substituted by the LCP. So this is our idea. And after that, LCP will make a proof to by the private key within the LCP. After that, the light client on the blockchain, on the Ethereum, will validate that proof generated by the LCP. So that's why this signature is just like very simple single signature. So that's why the verification cost can be very cheaper than the normal native light client verification.
Okay, it sounds like the key unlock is via LCP. And so if I'm understanding it correctly, LCP, the light client proxy, all of the heavy overhead of verifying these signatures is done off chain. Is it through the Intel SGX?
Yes, right now, the first implementation is with SGX.
Okay, interesting. So you almost have this hybrid like pseudo proof of work system. How are operators incentivized to run this hardware and do the heavy lifting?
Yeah, that's a great question. So LCP can run anyone, first of all. So LCP doesn't sacrifice any nature of the IBC of the IBC. And as a first implementation, we, Toki or data chain, will manage the LCP to operate LCP. And after that, we are in talks with several validators to set up or to operate multiple LCP together. And we would like to incentivize them by Toki token. But Toki token is not for messaging layer. So we are building application layer, which is unified liquidity. It's very similar to Stargate by layer 0. So in order to incentivize these validators, we are using the Toki token for that application.
Okay, understood. So now how does that apply to Binance Smart Chain? It sounds like you have plans to run this off-chain network to support not just Binance Smart Chain and Cosmos, but the entire EVM ecosystem, or the main ones.
Yeah, true. So the primary network, we chose Ethereum and BSC. It might be obvious because they're first and second largest ecosystem. And after that, the hardest problem to extend the IBC network is about building a light client. So we are thinking to implement that AVAX as next EVM blockchain, because the Landslide other teams is working on the light client for AVAX. So I think that we can utilize that light client for us, and maybe they can utilize our light client. So we IBC gangs have to collaborate with each other to set up or build up the light client to mitigate the trust assumption. So this is current plan right now.
Okay. I wonder, so since Toki's going to have its own token and is basically an intermediary for a lot of these chains, I wonder if Secret Network decided to pivot or like incrementally add this sort of product to their stack as well, would they be a direct competitor and they already have a token? They could incentivize the network and trust minimizedly bridge to Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain and so on and so forth.
Oh, Suzuki-san, do you have any comment on it?
Yep. Actually, I'm not familiar with that news. That
you are on mute, Suzuki-san.
I'm not familiar with that news that the secret network is working on.
No. It's not news. It's a hypothetical. Hypothetical.
Oh.
The one thing that would be the hurdle for secret network. That in regards to that hypothesis is that, like mentioned earlier, that the building light client is very, how to say, hard, difficult, sometimes very not easy task in a sense. So that part, because we are working on the light client implementation for 3 years, not just for the public blockchain, but as for the enterprise blockchain, that makes us a bit, how to say, in a good position to support this kind of product, I guess.
Is this work that you've been doing upstreamable to Cosmos SDK?
Actually, we're building light clients in a Rust language, which InterSGX uses. So it's not directly compatible with the Golang, but yeah, we can make spec, and hopefully, if it's approved, then we can contribute to Cosmos ecosystem as a whole.
Yeah, and once Wasm Light client is ready, it's very easier for all project to implement the light client we developed.
Yeah, is this light client on the application layer?
No,
Yes,
no, it's
it's
in the tower layer.
But it's smart contract, of course.
Okay, I was just asking that to see if there would be, if you could upstream it and have it work with CosmWasm or like as a CosmWasm contract.
Yeah, that can be possible. So we are working with so we are working on the IBC Solidity, which is a Solidity implementation of IBC. And the one thing that the problem is that we have the protobuf serialization in our package, but CosmWasm is using the JSON. And right now we are implementing the JSON encoding in our stack. So hopefully it can communicate with the CosmWasm smart contract to EVM-based smart contract to make the cross-chain contract call or ICS20, whatever. So yeah, that's a huge step for, I think that can contribute to the Cosmos and CosmWasm ecosystem.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier, you mentioned the architecture was similar to layer 0. How is it similar and how is it different from layer 0?
I am not saying our architecture is similar to the layer 0. So our architecture is similar to the ZK bridge. Sorry if I mispronounced, but similar to the ZK. And the difference of the layer 0 and S is pretty obviously everything. So they are not IBC compatible. They're kind of a permissioned network, and they don't use light client approach. They don't use that kind of completely TTP architecture right now, right? But of course, even though we are using TEE, our network or our approach doesn't sacrifice any nature of the IBC permissionless network establishment, as well as the modularity. So as Setsumu said, right now we are using TEE as one of the security assumption compliant with ICS 02, but we can replace it to ZK approach or other approaches. And so it's totally different from layer 0.
Okay, right. Yeah. Just to sum up, TLDR, layer 0, multi-sig, and Toki is IBC proxy. Right.
Perfect.
Yeah. Anything multi-sig related, and it's completely trusted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
The Japanese stablecoin partnership that you're going to launch with Noble for the acronym Mufugu MUFG. I call it Mufugu. Yeah, tell us about that, please.
Yeah. As you might know, the new legislation in Japan was enforced in last July, and we finally, right now the Japanese people doesn't have direct access to purchase stablecoin. So any stablecoin is not listed on domestic exchanges. But finally, we can launch our own stablecoin and can be listed on the Japanese exchanges. So Japanese can now enjoy the stablecoin easily and can have access to the DeFi or other ecosystems. And in this landscape, we partnered with MUFG, like you said, and also Binance. So this is not still fixed yet, but we announced that MUFG will partner with Binance Japan to look to issue the kind of BUSD version 2. Of course, the name is different, but as you might know, the right now BUSD can't issue the new BUSD because the Paxos decided to not issue the new BUSD anymore. And that's why they're seeking the partner in the world. And of course, Japan is one of the mature country, and we have sorry, and we have clear regulation right now. That's why they're thinking to issue their stablecoin in Japan. And of course, this kind of version 2 of the BUSD will launch on multiple blockchains on BNB, Smart Chain, on Ethereum, as well as on Noble or Cosmos. And in order to spread out this BUSD or Japanese stablecoin in the Cosmos ecosystem, we think that it's a great idea to partner with Noble as a gateway of the Cosmos ecosystem. So, and if once we realize it, we can make a kind of single click deposit to DYDX from Ethereum through Noble, something like that. So this is our kind of landscape of the partnerships with Noble through stablecoin.
So when you say the legislations in Japan are clear and that Binance, the company, is officially working with MUFG to launch their BUSD replacement, basically, how do you understand how it's done? So it sounds like it's another centralized stablecoin play within a jurisdiction that will enable this. But because it's US dollar pegged, how do they maintain that peg? What is the collateral? Is it Japan's reserve of US government T-bills, or like how?
Yeah.
What's collateralizing that? Like what's making it like a credible alternative to the Paxos BUSD?
So one thing I would like to first mention is that it's not interesting.
Can you hear me?
It's not. I think some argue that it's not a great idea, but the stablecoin in Japan is highly centralized, and we need to have one-to-one collateral for the pegged token. Which means that if we have one BUSD, so-called, then we have $1 in our deposit for collateral. No TVL allowed at now. So so in Japan, Japanese stablecoin is kind of fully backed by the exact same amount of wealth.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
question is, what is it backed by? Is it
So
backed by Japanese yen? Backed by US?
So if we issue the US dollar pegged coin in Japan, it's totally backed by the US dollar itself, not yen, not TVL involved.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
whose cash reserve is that?
So it's I guess it's in under discussion, but I guess the Binance will make the reserve in MUFG's account to issue the BUSD.
Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah.
help me understand this entire cycle of work that you guys have started. So, like, where did the conversation start? Is it that Toki started the conversation with Binance and said, look, this is happening with the BUSD. Binance is disgruntled or something, looking for an alternative jurisdiction to launch its stablecoin in, and then maybe we could help them with this, that, and the other, and like tell me the backstory behind Toki.
Yeah.
And the stablecoin.
Yeah, great. Daiki-san, could you follow up? So it's a
Sure.
actually long history. So MUFG is actually providing the digital asset platform called Progma. So they are not only issuing stable coins, but they also have an intention to make security token platforms. And the Toki and Interchain is a kind of a technical partner for that platform. So they are actually already launching their security tokens. It's close to $1 billion asset, mainly from the real estate. And they would like to support multi-chain. It's currently in the permission blockchain but they need to connect to other ecosystems, other security token platforms. So we are cross-chain solution provider. So we are working with them for very long time. And after stablecoin legislation comes in, we talk with MUFG and Binance, and we need to make this product multi-chain in the nature. I mean, so the first target will be Ethereum, but we need to extend to other ecosystems. So we talk both of them to make this kind of partnership. So, Daiki-san, could you follow up on this part?
Yeah, the overall is completely same as the Susumu-san said. But if I would like to, one thing is that so in order to maybe as Susumu-san touched, in order to enable the cross-chain transaction for this stablecoin, CCTV-like functionality is necessary, right?
What did you say? CCTV like functionality?
Yeah, CCTP.
Oh,
from Circle.
Got it.
Yeah. But
can you just explain that? I'm not going to assume that the listeners know what that is.
Okay, so CCTP is cross-chain token stands for cross-chain transfer protocol designed by Circle, and it's very simple architecture. So when user wants to transact or send the USDC on Ethereum to USDC on Noble, the smart contract will burn the USDC on Ethereum. After that, mint the equivalent USDC on Noble. And in order to attest the token is actually burned on the Ethereum, the circuit itself will make attestation for it. and then check if it's valid or not on the destination chain. So this is the simple explanation about CCTP. So I don't know whether it's okay or not for the Cosmos ecosystem folks, but it's completely trusted model. So of course we are now trusting the USDC itself. So there are no additional trust assumption for the CCTP. But I think this is the CCTP. But instead of using CCTP like approach or trusted approach for bridging these stablecoin, MAFG is using IBC. So with us, so this is very huge use case for adoption of the IBC. I think this is the first use case for IBC to be used as a bridge functionality for stablecoin.
Yes. Very, very exciting. Suma-san, you said that you leaked a little bit of alpha earlier, the security token platform for real world assets. Can you leak a little bit more? Can you expand on that?
Yeah. First of all, current status is not so much interesting. So
I would agree with you. It's not. However, it does indicate that the world is trending in that direction now. Yeah,
exactly. So currently, they have a completely permission blockchain to transact within the organization, meaning not retail but wholesale security token transaction. But there's some growing demand from from industry side that this should be permissionless, meaning that we can issue security tokens in, for example, Ethereum. So that will take time for sure, but in that, if that become true, then we can completely okay to transact with permissionless stablecoins with permissionless security tokens. So that's very exciting, but we need to we need to overcome several hurdles for that to come.
Got it. Okay, so for those who are excited about this functionality, what are some dates that people can expect to start using this and transacting through Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum?
Sorry, what was your questions?
Yeah, when is it going to be live approximately, when people are going to be able to use this?
Yeah, we hope Destiny will go live in this quarter. After that, of course, and the next our step is security audit. So once it's done, we are ready to go to live. And that's gonna be mainnet will come next quarter. I think the end of next quarter, maybe next March or something like that. So this is our current plan.
And one thing to add, so Japanese stable coins will go live in Q2 2024. So it will be, I think, first in a single chain, but hopefully it will expand to other ecosystems like Noble and BSC. So yeah, we can make one-click stablecoin swap, I guess, in Q3 next year.
To and from Binance Smart Chain.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. And testnet for stablecoin will will be in place next quarter as well.
Okay. And we've got a question from the audience, a very important one, probably the most important question of the evening/morning for you two. Karthikeyan Raj asks airdrop. When airdrop?
Yeah.
Is there going to be an airdrop?
Yeah, of course. We are planning on it, and it's gonna be announced next quarter. And I think airdrop will come next spring. So it's not so we have still time, but we will definitely carry out the airdrop stuff for Cosmos ecosystem and folks who are supporting us.
For those validators who will be running your trusted setup and like client proxies, how do they participate?
Yeah. Right now, it's kind of a little bit permissioned way. So we are talking with them one by one. And actually, this is a little bit specific requirement for the validator since they have to run the Intel SGX or other stuff. So we have to explain about what LCP is and what is the requirement to operate LCP one by one. So please feel free to reach out to us if you are interested in running LCP node together.
All right. So that means that you're going to have to share how people can reach out to you at the end of this interview. Yeah. We have had the most number of people tuning in on the live stream when we started talking about the airdrop. Save the best information for last. Is there any more information that you could share about who would be qualified to redeem an airdrop? Are there any activation events or like engagement farming that they could do to qualify? What can you share?
Yeah. Actually, we are not planning on having kind of unique specification or clarification to get airdrop. So I think it's kind of very straightforward airdrops, I think. But end of this year, we could share a little bit more information about airdrops or marketing plan, and please stay tuned.
Got another comment from Karthikeyan. Or drop to Cosmos stakers?
Might be not decided yet. Yeah, possibly. Sorry. Yeah. I can't answer clearly.
I love it. Such a Japanese answer. I studied for 4 months in Japan before and have had my fair share of interactions with Japanese people. And this, I tell you, is the gist of it. Not really. Maybe.
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Yeah. So, but Daiki mentioned, but we will prioritize the initial contributors or initial supporter for this application. So we will make, for example, test our unified liquidity or cross-chain DEX or whatever we called it. But so please stay tuned. So yeah, that information will be sent from our website. So, but we will surely prioritize the initial supporter and the initial backer for this application.
Great. Let me add one thing. Yeah, as Susan said, We didn't. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, but it's muted for some time.
Okay.
You dropped off for a little bit just now.
Okay. So let me add one thing. So we haven't explained about the application of the Toki, but simply put, our application on the IBC is unified liquidity. And as I said, it's similar to the layer 0. Sorry, Django. So it's a little bit complicated, but our messaging layer is similar to ZK approach. But our liquidity layer on top of that is similar to layer 0. And it's inspired by Stargate, so it's completely similar. You can think of it as Stargate. And in order to start off the unified liquidity, of course, we need deep enough liquidity. So in order to gather the enough liquidity pool, we need more support from the forks. So for that part, I think we would like to prioritize we would like to give the airdrops for that supporter who can provide the liquidity. This is the current main focus for the airdrops, I think.
Sorry, I didn't fully get that. So you need liquidity provided for what?
For liquidity provision to our liquidity pool. So we have a liquidity pool on multiple blockchains on top of IBC. And the users can swap the USDC on the Ethereum to USD.
So, okay.
So let me follow up.
So
basically,
network is getting worse.
All right. So with our messaging layer, we would like to provide the cross-chain DEX on top of that. Yeah.
That was the missing piece. Why do you need a DEX, and why don't you use the existing DEXs that are available in each of those chains? So, for example, if you're, transacting between Ethereum to Binance Smart Chain, why couldn't you do some IBC routing from and use PancakeSwap and Uniswap on either?
That's possible. And we are talking with such partners as well. But yeah, we will also provide the first-party application for this and support. So we can use the, for example, as an interface PancakeSwap, but we can also boost their liquidity pool by providing our own liquidity pool. So that's the idea.
Okay. All right. And for skeptical people who say that, why does Toki need a new token? What do you say to that?
In order to gather the liquidity from the liquidity provider, we need to incentivize them, and Toki token is used for it.
Also, as Daiki mentioned, that running validators, decentralizing validators for LCP, that requires some incentive. So we introduce a new token for Toki.
Yeah, Karthikeyan says they have to pay gas, so it's not feasible. So, right, you basically need a token that you hope will rise in value enough to give validators positive expected value from making these transactions and incurring the high overhead cost of validating, verifying these signatures, these Tendermint signatures, right?
I guess so, but it's the big part of their cost. I don't think it's gas, but rather running the InterSGX node itself. So I think it's feasible in our sense.
And they also have to put up upfront costs to buy the hardware, right?
Yeah, if they don't use, for example, Microsoft Azure, then they have to pay. They have to buy the hardware.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So would
but
you
cost is not so big? Yeah.
Say it again?
Cost is not so big.
Okay.
Yeah, a few thousand USD.
Yeah. For example, if you compare to the ZK processor, it's completely cheap. It's rather the typical hardware, typical server, if you say so.
Okay. Got it. So yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of a bunch of different reasons why you would need some kind of economic incentive to like A, subsidize, and B, incentivize some sort of user behavior. But the other thing is that it's economically expensive to export IBC to these other ecosystems without some kind of economic incentive mechanism surrounding this. So in Toki's design, this is how you're subsidizing it. But when you're comparing designs to other projects that are also tackling the same problem but from a different angle, like Polymer, how would you say the economics add up compared to each other, and how would you say that the design is different?
I would like to ask one question. Does Polymer publicize their economic plan to incentivize ZK Prover, for example?
The last time I talked to them, I think their token plan was still up in the air. So
Yeah.
don't have an
I
answer for
guess
that
so.
yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess yeah. If they haven't officially released an answer to that, then you can't answer that question, right? So we'll leave that up to
Yeah.
further exploration in the future.
Yeah.
But
Actually,
we cannot compare ourselves to Polymer, but I think both are very hard to solve this kind of solution. So your question is, I think it's a great question.
Yeah, we'll follow up and do a compare and contrast in the future at some point between all of these different designs trying to tackle the same problem. But the end goal is IBC Manifest Destiny.
Yeah.
Okay, another question from the audience. We've got a very active member here. Karthikeyan asks, why would you rent a cloud storage to store the ledger of my node rather my own hardware? Do you understand that question? Why would you rent cloud to store the signing key rather than his own hardware?
So I don't rule out for the validator to buy their own hardware, but it's possible that they can rent a hardware from cloud provider. So I'm not sure if this answers his question, but yeah, it's up to validators whether they buy or rent.
Okay. All right. So some closing thoughts, housekeeping items, any announcements you want to make and what you want people to be aware of, and how can people find you?
Yes. So as I said, testnet will come soon, and we highly appreciate if you can join the testnet. And we're gonna announce that we're gonna make an announcement about it through the Twitter mainly. So, and right now we have on this Twitter channel or X channel for the community. So please follow us, and once we are ready to open the Discord, of course we will share about it through Twitter. So please follow the Twitter right now.
And what's your Twitter handle?
At Toki Finance.
All one word?
Toki Finance. Yeah, all in one word.
Yeah, one word.
Okay. And how can people follow the work that you guys are doing? GitHub?
Yeah, I think that we all.
Everything is open source, so you can follow our GitHub. But for the announcement side, you should follow the Toki Finance.
Oh, by the way, we announced we opened the repository for Ethereum and the Cosmos connection through IBC. So, and that links is also shared on the Twitter. So please go check our repository. And if you are interested in it, please run the demo. This could be the great excitement for IBC folks.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Daiki, Sumi-san. Yeah.
Can I add 2 points for the last call?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing is that Toki is very small team. Actually, me and Daiki-san is the core team of the Toki. And data chain is relatively big, but there's around 15 people involved. So we are very much waiting for your application. For your support. That's one thing. And another is that
if you want to be a core contributor to a new
please
growing
reach out
team.
to us. Yeah. And another thing is that we mentioned about the IBC Solidity, which is a so IBC for EVM environment. And Daiki mentioned about auditing, and actually it costs a lot. So we would like to have a support from Cosmos communities like Interchain and other entities. So yeah, that's so if we can support this initiative, and actually IBC Solidity itself is used by a number of very notable projects like Composable Finance and Polymer and the Union, I guess. So yeah, please support us.
Yeah, and so this is IBC Solidity is one of the core parts of the stack that you guys have implemented, right?
Yeah.
And that is your public contribution to Cosmos.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is.
So any sort of support, funding, coding, anything, that's highly welcome. Sorry, Daiki-san, to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I am going to host an open forum for all of the Cosmos community to come together and talk about ICF funding in the coming like next week. So we want to we want to just look out for an announcement from me about that. So we've had prominent members in the community weigh in on this exact subject. We've had Jose Macedo from Delphi Labs to weigh in on this, and we're going to have other people speaking about this very topic, because we all want Cosmos to succeed. We want the ICF grant structure to be more inclusive to everyone who is building good public infrastructure and basically expanding IBC out to other ecosystems in meaningful ways like your team is. So please join that. I would love it if you guys would weigh in. And to anyone who's listening to this now, I would love to invite you to that discussion, as this is going to be a meaningful one that decides the fate of Cosmos for the next few years. So it's going to be important. And yeah, thank you, Daiki-san, Susumu-san, for joining this live stream. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you so much.
I'm a covert weeaboo. If you don't know what that means, I am an anime fan, so I love Japan. So it's great anytime I have Japanese people on the stream.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
ありがとう、
Yeah.
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。どういたしました。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとう、ありがとう。
どういたしまして。
どういたしまして。そうです。Okay. Anyway, all right. So if you've been listening and you're in the Western, if you're in like the West or the East Coast in the US or somewhere in Europe, it's really late right now. So yeah, congratulations for tuning in. You are so dedicated to finding that alpha and following the latest and greatest of the Cosmos ecosystem, even though I know that prices are a little bit depressed and it's a little bit sad. But if this is your first bear cycle, I mean, keep trudging through, right? It's going to be soul crushing for like a temporary amount of time until it just, in a year or a year and a half from now, things get much bigger and much brighter, and then it'll be Cosmos season in no time. The fundamentals are growing as ever, as you're seeing that it's, IBC is expanding to meaningful ecosystems, and we are going to achieve IBC Manifest Destiny. So yeah, it's just like stay with us throughout. And yeah, this is going to be a great, it's going to be a great next season when the bull cycle returns. And I think that's going to happen in like end of 24, beginning of 25 for that year. So yeah, if things seem daunting right now with like this possible world war looming over us, just keep building. All right. And that's the optimistic high note that we're going to leave this at.
That's it.
Yeah.